Welcome back to SNN, the Satirical News Network. I'm Sammy Alexander, and joining me is my plush puppet podcast, Pete. Sammy, my stuffing is at a rolling boil, but the good news is that the health officials are warning about a drug-resistant fungi, superbug called Candida auroris, that lives on human skin. Since I'm a synthetic masterpiece of cotton and polyester, I'm literally the only host in late night media who is completely immune. Well, that's a silver lining, Pete. But the entertainment world is in deep mourning this week after the legendary Dolly Parton passed away at age 80, following a brief battle with cancer. Oh, it's a tragedy, Sammy. She was a true gift, but of course Dolly was a planner. It turns out that she left behind one final unreleased song called My Place in History, locked in a dream box at Dollywood, and it sits behind glass and cannot be opened until what would have been her 100th birthday in 2046. That's incredible, a final encore, Pete. We just have to wait 20 years to hear it. Exactly, and because she was a genius, she even included a CD player and written instructions on how to use it, just in case the CD technology was completely obsolete by 2046. Yeah, I think it's obsolete already. She admitted back in 2022 that knowing a perfectly good song was sitting in that box unheard was driving her absolutely crazy. I know how she feels. That's the same face I make when I realize that there's a perfectly good pizza sitting in the break room, but the writer's room door is locked. Well, let's head to Washington, where the Department of Justice has raised the stakes in a bizarre real estate battle. DOJ lawyers have warned in a federal court filing that the historic Kennedy Center faces a financial and structural death spiral and could be demolished if proposed repairs aren't completed. A $250 million renovation, or they bring in the wrecking ball. And what they want to build on site, a giant outdoor amphitheater overlooking the Potomac River. The administration is calling itself the center's sole hope, arguing that donors will refuse to give any money unless they are allowed to plaster restored and renovated by President Donald J. Trump on the white marble facade. Because nothing inspires high-class philanthropy quite like threat-based historic preservation. This warning comes as the administration faces intense scrutiny for other massive construction projects in the Capitol. Oh yeah, on trial of destruction is beautiful, Sammy. The president already bulldozed the east wing of the White House to make way for a $400 million 90,000 square foot ballroom. Now a federal appeals court ordered that a halt to the above ground work because Congress didn't approve the funding. But the Solicitor General just petitioned the Supreme Court to let them keep building, arguing that it's actually an integrated military complex that just happens to have a totally secure ballroom space virtually required for national security. National security, right. Of course, you know when a foreign diplomat is going to try to infiltrate our borders via the Macarena. Meanwhile, the National Mall's reflecting pool is fenced off because the liner is peeling and is filled with algae, and the president publicly blamed vandals and attacked U.S. Attorney Jeannie Perino for dropping a criminal charges, saying she folded like an umbrella. Yeah, I know. Piro's office pointed out that there was no crime. It was just a terrible, flawed installation because the contractors rushed the job to please the boss. I mean, DOJ lawyers literally argued in the court this summer that the president has the authority to bulldoze the Statue of Liberty of the White House, and the public wouldn't have the legal right to sue. Lady Liberty, you've been warned. Keep an eye on your torch, or Trump will replace it with a gold-plated penthouse. On a final somber note, a catastrophic flash flood struck Nepal, Tibet border on Wednesday after a massive glacier collapse on Langtang Lingung Peak. The resulting landslide registered a 5.2 on the seismic sensors, killing at least 359 people and leaving 1,400 missing, including up to 90 Americans. It's literally a tsunami from the sky, Sammy, a terrifying reminder of how the climatic crisis is destabilizing the Himalayas. Though given the administration's current trade policies, they'll probably try to solve it by putting a double-digit tariff on the mountains. Well, that's our show. I'm Sammy Alexander, and I'm Podcast Pete, currently checking my scenes for hidden cameras, salmonella, and high-interest debt. Good night.